Good morning. This is Julie with JulesOfTyler. I hope you're having a good day today. I'm in Texas, and today is actually a good sunny day. Yesterday we had rain all day, which is very rare in August. So anyway, today is back to a beautiful day. Today I'm going to show you these clear pockets, something really easy to make. You can make it with your sewing machine if you want to. As you can see that I sewed the clear plastic on top, or you can use washi tape. And I used washi tape and glue. I haven't finished this one yet, so that's why you see that it's loose. I used doilies, I used scrapbook paper. This is an old photo that I used. So there's all these things that you can use and kind of dress it up or down, whichever way you want to. This one is just a single page. If it has a pretty back side, you can just use the single page. Has a little closure of a doily with a little cutout, circle cut of music paper. Now this one, the back side didn't look very good, so I backed it up to make sure that there would be a journaling spot. Here's your closure, and here's your plastic. And you can fit anything you want to in that. Here is one that I did without the doily. I just used digital papers, and I used the little fancy cut scissors here and just made the closure from that. And this one here, I did a laminator with some daisies I'd had with fern, and I made it like that. So you can do that if you want to. This is I backed up with yellow paper, and I just did a scallop cut all around just to make that a little bit different. This one here doesn't have a closure. It is open. I didn't want to cover up any more than I had to, so I just put some scrapbooking paper, and then I backed it up with paper to journal on. This one here, I used my I think it was Creative Memories, where we had the little circle cutters. But you guys might have some larger punches than I do. Well, this is a 5-inch, so you probably couldn't. I don't know if they make 5-inch ones, but you could use your Cricut or use something like this, or actually trace it out with a dish or a glass and cut it out. I can't cut out a circle. It doesn't matter if I've got it outlined with a pencil, it just won't happen. So this is what this is right here. And then I have my scallop punch, which, where did I put it? There it is. The scallop punch is a 3.5 inch. So I've got the doilies at a 5-inch, and the circle at a 5-inch, and this at a 3.5 inch. And I think this is by Recollections. I just got this on, I think it was Mercari's or one of those places, Poshmark. I got it really cheap. Of course, shipping isn't too cheap when it's really heavy like that. But anyway, it was cheaper than what I could get. So anyway, I leave a little gap of like 3/4 of an inch so you can easily slip things in and out. Yeah, let me open that up so you can see what that really looks like. And that's all that is there. You just leave it open in the front, glue it on the back. Okay, let's see, on this one right here, I just used that old photo, and then I put a sticker on the outside. And this one right here, I have rickrack on the inside, but you could put the rickrack on the outside if you want to. If you have things that are bulky, put it on the outside so that your, whatever you have on in there will be easy to put in and out. So I got a little card right here. That turned out cute. And then you can journal on the back. Let's see here, what else I have here. Postcards. I love postcards. You can put your postcards right here. And if you do like music paper, or if you use your hand-dyed paper, anything like that, that means you can do anything you want to with these. You can decorate something and put them in there like that. So it gives you, I guess, you can do more to me with this, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to cover that up. But that's what it's made for. It's just to put your ephemera in there if you want. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way and show you what I used. And this right here, I'm gonna line. I had a monkey up here, but the monkey gets covered up, so I'm just gonna put this with probably something I can journal on, and then glue that on the back. And this is the one that I use washi tape. I just glued the washi tape on the front and the back, and it held up really good. It was like, okay, can I do this? But it did, it worked. So you guys don't need a sewing machine if you don't want to use one. I used to be really intimidated with the sewing machine. I hadn't sewn in, over 25 years, and I scrapbook a lot, and everybody else was using it. It was like, no way I'm gonna do this. And so when I started junk journaling, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get that out. And it was really, really easy to do. So don't be intimidated about sewing on paper. Okay, let me show you what I got here. You'll just use old books. I've got all kinds of old books that I buy, all the ones that are falling apart, that are in bad shape. That way I can feel like I can tear it up without feeling guilty, right? Okay, so you have that. A lot of the pictures I got, I tried to keep, or the pages I got, I tried to keep the pictures down lower, so when I put the flap on there, it doesn't cover up as much. But you can do what you want, because I have it both ways on there. And again, you can back it up, especially if it's old paper, just back it up on there. And this one here is an old music book, and I did glue 2 pages together, so it'd be really thick. In this old children's book, the back side was ugly, so I put a pretty picture on the other side, and I can work on that. So you just do what you want on here. Here's my doilies that I just got online. I do not remember where I got it, but you can just Google that. And these are the 5-inch. And just whatever inch you get, just make sure and cut your papers to where it folds up really good. Let's see here. I measured all my papers to where they were about 5 inches there, so I could put this on top of here. There we go. Just use rickrack if you want, or lace. I've got all different colors, but today and yesterday when I was working on them, I put red. Okay. I used the art glitter glue when I did the washi tape, and it held really, really well with the plastic. Of course, you got all the different kinds of scissors probably in your little stash when you scrapbook. I've got this little pen that marks on plastic. And I got this, oh gosh, forever ago when I first started scrapbooking, which would have been about 27 years ago when my daughter was born. So, and this marks your page on the plastic, and you just use your little cutter, and it cuts really well with your Fiskars cutter. And you don't have to do that. You can just get your plastic, put little clips on it, and then just line it up and just cut it, just like that. And there's just some washi tape here, just normal washi tape. And I think that is it. Oh wait, let me show you the paper. Or the plastic. Okay, this is just your simple plastic from scrapbooks. I have a whole bunch of this, and I think I got some at, one of the thrift stores in town. And so it was next to nothing, of course. And of course, usually half of these stores, they're half price, it'd be $2.50. And you just take that apart, just cut it apart, and you've got 2 pages right there. This does move around a little bit when you sew, but if you clamp it real good, it does only moves just a tiny bit, but it does a little bit. But on the acetate, I noticed that it does not move. It's a little bit thicker, but it has just enough give, just like this plastic does. Of course, you're gonna pay more for this, so I like the the really cheap scrapbooking covers here. So y'all do what you want on that. Just know that this one's gonna be a little bit easier, a little bit stiffer. Okay. I've got me a bunch here that I've gotten together, and I've already cut out because you don't need to see me cut out plastic, and you don't want to see that marking on there. But anyway, you know how to do that, so you don't need that. So I put things together with the whatever colors I wanted to use. This is what the scrapbooking paper instead of using the doilies. And I wanted to give you a little variety. I used hand-dyed papers here. And I just used a little digital paper that I put down at the bottom. I sewed around it. Again, 3/4 of an inch, just whatever you want to have a little space. And then on this one, I've got a pink little doily that I'll use, that I'll fold over. And this one I made a little bit different. I made a little pocket with gussets, so you'll have a little bit more space in your pockets. You don't have to do that. So if I make them with gussets, I have to sew it around like that and just use the line, the little perforated or the little folded line as a guide. And then what I'll do is glue this on the back. So this one will be a little bit different. And you can put anything you want to on that. Or you can use little stickers like that one. I use these little stickers. I think I got them on a line, Amazon or one of those little cheap stores. And you just use your stickers. Okay. Okay, which one shall we work on? Okay, let's see. I'm going to work on this one, I believe. This is out of a children's book that I just backed with some cardstock. And again, I cut this out. It is going to move a little bit, so you don't have to be perfect on that. Now, if you're going to use the washi tape, you want to get a little bit more accurate when you cut out the plastic. So what I'm going to do here, let's see here. I get my little clips. Well, first of all, I think, will I put that on the outside or the inside? I guess I can put that on the inside. I guess it really doesn't matter on that. Okay, I'm going to glue this to the inside. Let me get my readers on so I can see what in the world I'm doing. Okay. I'm just going to place that right here. Move it around to where you got it. I'll probably have to use a little bit more glue. This thicker rickrack just soaks it in. I noticed that yesterday. Come on, move back over there. Move it around till you get it where you want it. And then you'll just get your scissors. And just cut that off. Okay. Now the second step, after you back this, put your rickrack on, or lace, or paper, then you would cut out your piece of plastic. And I've got that on there, which I will sew here in just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. It looks pretty even. If you keep the clip up a little higher when you first start out, it seems to not move around as much, and then you'll just gradually move it down to the bottom. And let's see, and one more. Okay, on this, I've already got that cut to the right length there. And what I'm gonna do is, I don't want to cover up the picture, so I'm going to go down as far as I want to here. It has a glare. Okay, now I'm going to kind of just bend it down. Use your bone folder if you have one. Get it all nice and straight. And then I'm going to get my little scissors out, and I'm going to cut it. Let's see here. Which way do I like it to cut? This way. Okay. I hope I get that straight. Let's see. I'm going through both sides. And okay, that's not too bad. Probably not perfect. Here we go. Then you got this little cover right here. And what I'll do is glue it in the back after I sew, glue it down, and then you'll just be able to lift that up and put what you want in that one. But I'll sew these later, okay? Again, it's the same thing on here. Oh, see, was I gonna put another, let me see what I was gonna do here. You could also put another piece of rickrack on top. Same thing here, put your rickrack on the plastic or below the plastic. And when you cut this out, don't crease it until you put this on top, okay? Because you'll never get the creases right or to match up unless you do it that way. So this here, get a piece of paper. And then you just glue it down. Okay. And after you sew this and glue this down, then you just decide where you want that. This picture is pretty far down, so I can probably just fold that right in half and be happy with that. I'm just going to line it up. Get your bone folder out and press down. And then you'll have this right here. Okay, let's see here. Same thing with this one. I've already cut that out. And I've got rickrack for the top to put on here and on the bottom. Now this is the one I wanted to show you that I'm going to use the tape with. Now my washi tape is not very sticky. I guess probably some of you do have the stickier than mine. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do this real fast. You don't have to glue the plastic down unless you want to. Let me see if I can get closer. I never do it the right way the first time. Okay, let's see here. Oop. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of judge how far I need to go. And I'm gonna put a little bit, well, looks like it's off just a tiny bit. Okay. Just gonna put me a little line here, all the way up to the top. And then I have a little place here. I like to, I can't cut a straight line, and I can't put washi tape down in a straight line. So what I do here is, I hope I can do this without standing up. No, let me see if I can stand up. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to line this up with that line just to make sure I have it halfway straight. Okay. And I'm going to press down on that. And make sure not to put this on paper, because your washi tape will stick to the paper. I have this plastic, or you can put it on your countertop. And if you turn it around, hopefully you've got a little bit of a space. This one right here, I forgot I did this. I cut out another picture in the book, and I put her down here. Let's see if I can get her. Golly. Okay. So the next thing you do here is go down. Well, let me cut this first. Where's my scissors? Okay. You're going to glue on the tape. Okay. And then you're just going to fold over. And then just cut off the excess of that. Let's see. Okay, just snip that off. And then I'm going to work on the opposite end, okay? So that when I lay my last piece over, it'll lay over on top of the tapes on both sides. Okay. Okay, same thing. I'm going to put a little line and get my washi tape. Okay, let's see here. There we go. Just about that much. Line that up with the line. Press it down. Turn it over. And glue on the tape. Let me cut that. Come on. Couldn't get that. Nope. Could have left a little more room there, but that's okay. And cut that off. Now, if you want to clamp down any of this, go ahead and do that. And the last side. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, I might do it a little bit up a little bit because I think there's not much space. Okay. Line it up and stick it down. Okay, turn it over. and glue the tape. There we go. There's a little bit more space on that one. Okay, again, if you want to, you can clamp this down, let it dry. Okay, let's see here. Okay. I already glued this together. I used the pink doily and used some digital paper. And I'm going to go over here to the back and just glue the back, not the front. It'd probably be better to get your glue stick out, but it's pretty messy, so I'm just kind of do this right here so it won't be as big of a mess when y'all guys are watching it. Okay. And you're just going to bring it up here. And press it down. There we go. Let me see if I can go back out here. There we go. Just press it down. And the other side is going to be open for you to put whatever you want to in here. I see this little kitty cat. It was up on top, so it is going to be covered up. But again, this is just a pocket, so that is a-okay. And again, you can decorate the back, or if you want to, you can leave the front blank and then just have the decorated page on the back side. So there's all different variations on here. Let's see. I'm going to try to sew these in just a second and put the video on pause. Don't know how that's going to work, but anyway, that way you might can see how some of these turned out. But yeah, feel free to put a blank page here with your pocket and then a pretty page on the back side. So anyway, I'm going to try this, putting it on pause. If it doesn't work and I disappear, then just know that I appreciate you watching my videos. But hopefully this will work. I'll be able to come back in just a few minutes with some of these sewn up, okay? Hold on one second. Let me pause it. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that worked. And this is what I had in my pile to do. And I did get this finished. There was one that I did not... Uh-oh, where did you go? Let's see, okay. This other one I also did with washi tape, like I did that when I finished this one off, where I glued the top on. And this one I put washi tape all around, and I put the rickrack inside. And that is done. The one with the pocket on the back, I glued that down. You can put anything you want to in here. And in the front, same thing. You got that space. You can put anything you want to in here. Make that look really pretty. And here's one of the children's pages right here. Uh-oh. So I could glue that together. Okay, I'll have to gently pull that apart. I'm not going to do that because it will not work if I'm filming. And that needs to be cut right here. If there's a little bit over the edges, just get your scissors and cut those. But anyway, that is glued a little bit, so I'll just get my bone folder in there. Oh, there it went. Okay. Here we go. And you just open that up. Got another place to put your goodies. And here's one I just used with the digital paper. This one's scrapbook paper. And you could put more rickrack down there if you wanted to. I didn't want to cover up their little cute feet. And there's the back side. So anyway, I've got all those done. You can fill, like I said, fill up the pockets. I've got a little portrait in there for that one. And the ones without a closure. Anyway, that looks like that is about it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good ideas, and I hope you'll try it. It is really easy. Again, just remember it's a little slick on the paper, the clear paper, and just make sure and use something to fasten it down real good as you sew. Okay? Well, y'all have a great rest of the day, and have a good weekend. It's coming up. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.